It's Nick with Gutter Freedom. I want to talk a little bit about DIY gutters. And I actually had a client ask me, hey Nick, if I were to install this myself, how much would it cost? What's the real cost of this? Now, I'm never going to actually tell them the actual cost that I pay, because the cost that I pay, number one, is not their business. Number two, I don't want them to know that number because I'm not selling to them at cost. I need to make money so that I can survive, give them good warranty, and pay the guys more than the minimum. Otherwise, that's how you lose your business. The most important cost to a homeowner, very, very simple. Take whatever timeline you think. So this guy said, oh, I can get this done in a day. No, you can't. Double it. 2 days, 20 hours. How much do you make per hour? He said, I make $42 an hour. He's like a police officer. I said, okay, cool. So you're going to lose $840 immediately if you do this. You say, I'm going to do this myself. You just spent almost $1,000 on nothing but opportunity cost. The next thing, I said, you're a police officer. What happens if you fall off a ladder and break your leg? You can't do your job. He's like, well, yeah, I might even lose my job because, we're having XYZ, whatever. Doesn't matter. If breaking your leg or not being able to walk or taking a super injury, you fall off, you get a head injury, you hurt yourself permanently, you could lose your job. So he just lost he lost his income. He is now in a state of big trouble. Is it worth losing your job, screwing up your life just to install a gutter, a roof, something on a ladder that you are not familiar with? I don't think so. Damage to the home. I've had a ton of people say, I'll just install it myself. And then they screw something up, break something, drill a hole, find rot. They don't know what to do, and they just make it worse. That normally results in more cost, because then we have to fix everything that you screwed up or you added. It's just more time and more headache. And we already know you just lost a bunch of money on the opportunity costs where you could be working, but now you're fiddling with whatever. You run the risk of losing your job, screwing up your life. It could ruin your entire life. If you fall off a ladder and you don't die, you break your neck, you become a paraplegic, you have now changed your life trajectory wildly. People don't understand that that's a possibility. It happens regularly. People fall off ladders all the time. Very dangerous. Failure and frustration. Once you get past, you've eaten these two, and you said, I'm good with it, don't worry about it, I don't care. Then you got to get the job done. You have no experience installing a gutter, soffit, fascia, super gutter, gutter protection. It's not rocket science. I'm sure you could figure it out, but you will have some learning curve. So it's going to take you double as long. And then the problem arises if it fails. It doesn't work. It leaks. It sags. It's not correct. It's not perfect. It's not ideal. Or it created another problem. You did it yourself, so you are now the person you call to handle that problem or that warranty issue, because you don't have a warranty other than whoever installed it. And if you DIY'd it, that person's you. Is that worth it? Is it worth having your husband or wife, whoever, say, hey, this looks like shit. Hey, this doesn't work. Hey, why did we spend money on this? What were you doing? You're not an expert. This won't pass code. It's not worth that frustration, that anger, and that failure, because either you're going to take it off, which takes time, money, you're right back on the ladder taking it apart, or you're paying a pro like me to come out and fix it, even though you should have just did that from the beginning. So I'm very much against DIY projects unless the person is an expert, at least at something construction-wise, and they understand what they're biting off before they have to chew it. So if you're that person and you say, hey Nick, I can handle it, more power to you. I think that's awesome. I just have seen way too many projects go from, oh, this can't be that expensive. I got so many, I could get XYZ cheap at Home Depot, or I can rent the gutter machine for like $500 a day. We need it for 2 days because it's going to take you twice as long because you have no idea what you're doing. And if you break their machine, you're in trouble, expensive. Or you're going to run the gutter out and not do it properly or have to make a corner that you've never made before. So good luck. So just keep that in mind when you think about doing a DIY project.